Anyway, first off, let me say this. I think Louisville has gotten, just has continued to get better. Credit to Coach Kenny Payne. Coach Payne's a dear friend, and they have gotten better, and they've got some good players, and they have improved. So I want to give credit to Louisville and Coach Payne, and he's a really good basketball coach. He's a great human being, but he's a really good basketball coach as well. And they're, they run a lot of good actions. They got good players, and they've gotten better. Turning to Georgia Tech, I thought it was just a great win for us. I told our guys in the locker room, just so darn proud of our young men. Obviously, we beat Miami January 4th. You think we're about to turn the corner, had a heck of a win there, top 15 win. And usually the teams I've coached have always gotten better in January, and we've taken off. Just as I said it, we were a month late, but there was a lot of negativity in this, in the month of January, just based on, what was said, what was written, how we were playing. I mean, there was just a lot of stuff. And so credit to our guys. It was very easy, and I'm really proud of our guys, because it's very easy when that's happening that you can go and you have two directions when you're on the ropes. You're either going to be in the fetal position, or you're getting off the ropes and going to kick, claw, eye gouge, scratch, tackle, whatever you have to do to get off the ropes. And to our guys' credit, they punched themselves off the ropes, and I think we're playing as well as anybody right now in the ACC. I mean, again, we don't have any margin for error, but we are playing well, and we've improved. We've gotten better. We finished off these last 4 games, home games, with wins, and had some opportunities in our last 3 road games that had a chance to really win the game. And I mean, we're playing better, and just a real testament to our young men, to our staff, for the job that the assistant coaches and the staff have done. Those assistant coaches have done an outstanding job. But to our players, and I would tell you that and it exemplifies what being at Georgia Tech is, being a student at Georgia Tech, being a student athlete at Georgia Tech. Because to be at Georgia Tech, and I know Simmett's a Georgia Tech grad. I don't know anyone else is a Georgia Tech grad in here, Georgia Tech grad. So you two know it. Being at Georgia Tech, I mean, first of all, it's one of the most rigorous, challenging institutions, not in the United States of America, but in the world. And it's one of the elite, highest level of educations that you can get. And on top of that, you're competing in the ACC, so you got to be at a high level of not only at one of the elite institutions academically, but also athletically competing. And so it's a testament to our young men, the character that they showed. That's what it's about being at Georgia Tech. Because to be at Georgia Tech, you have to have character. You can't be at Georgia Tech without high-level character. And these young men, exemplify what the student body is. I mean, that's what it is. They're part of the student body. And they show what being about Georgia Tech is, about being a Georgia Tech student. And both of you who are Georgia Tech grads understand that's part of the toughness and resolve that you get being here, and just really proud of our young men.
Okay, questions for Coach? Rod?
It seems the difference in your team now, as opposed to maybe earlier in the season, when teams made runs at you, you didn't bounce back earlier in the year. Now the team is withstanding those runs and really coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, we're a month late, but we've really gotten better, and especially those areas. And I just think the way we're moving the ball and playing, and 17 assists on 27 made field goals, and defensively, we did a great job on L. Ellis, who's a really good player, had 15 points on 16 shots. We held them to 23% from the three-point line. I thought Jalen Moore had 2 huge offensive rebounds late in the game, and we made plays when we needed to make plays, and just really proud of our young men, and just a high level group of guys to show who they're made of when things weren't going well, and for them to stick together. Like, our practices have been great. The energy's been great. So, yeah, just really proud of our guys. And I thought the crowd today was good. The energy of the crowd was good. I mean, you know, and there's good energy in the building. And so just a really good day for the Yellow Jackets.
Kelly.
Sort of been waiting all season to see maybe three of the guys step up and shoot well, and you had that tonight with Lance and Debo and Miles, and kind of to see the production probably you expected all season from those guys from three-point shooting wise. Just what was going well? Is it just them getting confident? They seem very confident shooting the ball, especially in the first half.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we shot 42%, 41% from three, 50% from three in the first half, Kelly. And I think just the way we're playing with ball movement. And, I mean, Kyle Sturdivant had 10 assists and might have had 15 because we had some great looks to some guys there. I mean, heck, Lance hit a big three in the corner in front of where the radio row is right there, you know, with Andy, where Andy sits. He had a big three in that corner there. And but he had a couple of great looks right in front of our bench, about 3 or 4 in a row. But, you know, we've gotten better. And it's a credit to our assistant coaches who've, you know, give a lot of shout out and credit to those guys. But the players staying together, and I think we're playing as well as anybody in the league. That doesn't mean you're going to go win every game. It just means you're playing well. And we're scoring. I mean, we had 83 today, and is Moose here? Is that another game of 1 point possession, over 100 points per possession?
I can get in my computer.
Yeah, okay. Well, we know Moose is not a Georgia Tech grad, so we know that. Obviously, if he can't get in his computer. So, and I also want to give a shout out to our managers, because we had 4 managers graduating today, and our managers do such an awesome job. They're Georgia Tech students, and I told this to Mr. Batt, you know, that, you know, we're probably the only program in America where the managers don't want to be coaches. You know, most teams want to be coaches. Our managers, one wants to be an emergency ER doctor, one wants to be a software technician, software engineer technician, something like that. One was trying to do something in aerospace engineering. One's going overseas to do a mission. I mean, we just, you know, so our managers are incredible people. They do such a good job, and they embody what Georgia Tech's about. I mean, to be here, to the challenging of this rigorous curriculum that we have here is just, you know, it's not easy, and it develops you. It makes you have resolve and toughness, and you know, we got a good group of people within our program.
Okay.
It's 1.26.
1.26.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ken. And then how many is that in a row, Moose? Or is that, I don't know what we were with Pitt. 6 in a row? Okay, so 6 games in a row of over 1 point per possession, which is good. You know, obviously, if you're really good if you're at 1.05, but just being over 1 point goes a long way. So that's our 6th straight game in that. That means our offense. And again, that goes back to just this last month, how much we've improved.
How much did Kyle's play have to do with the three-point shooting? 'Cause he was setting up a lot of those shots.
Well, Kyle today was as good of a guard as there was probably in the United States of America in college basketball, the way he played. So he was great. I mean, his vision, his setups. I thought defensively, he was outstanding. The way he moved the ball, he's our team captain, and he played like it. And he had toughness about him, and I mean, he had a 5-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and hit a big and one too as well. Just hit big free throws. Kyle Sturdivant was outstanding.
Patrick.
Coach Pastner, you've won 4 out of your last 6. The rotation's gotten a lot tighter. Which is the chicken and which is the egg there? Was that a plan to tighten it up like that? Get most guys most minutes? Yeah,
you know, look, I mean, you know, I've always preferred to play less. That's just kind of how I've been as a head coach. I thought the start of this year, and for a while we were playing probably more than we were just playing a lot of guys at times. Part of it was we didn't have a lot of separation. We were trying to figure things out and find solutions. And then I just think, you know, things just kind of happened where we found solutions, and we continued to make adjustments and tweaks. We just didn't, you know, we were trying to find answers. And that's a credit to my staff. I mean, that's a lot of credit that deserves to them, to the assistant coaches and the staff. And I think that embodies Georgia Tech. I mean, none of us are, other than B.J. Elder on our staff, who's a Georgia Tech grad, and our GA Rob, who wants to build missiles for NASA. He will be a Georgia Tech. He's trying to get a PhD, but none of us else are. But we try to embody what Georgia Tech's about, and Georgia Tech is about solution oriented instead of problem focused. What's our solution oriented? And to a credit to the staff, they represented Georgia Tech on what solution oriented. When you have a problem, and we were having some problems, and so we had to figure out a solution, and so far it's worked itself out. Maybe the osmosis of just again being around Georgia Tech does it.
Lance fouled out against Pitt, and you talked about that, on Thursday. Did that thought enter your mind when you decided to take Miles out there?
Absolutely. Usually I play guys with fouls, but Miles got his 4th foul, and I took him out just to make sure we saved him for later. And Jalen did a great job for us. Jalen played great.
They cut it to 5 with about 5 minutes left.
And Jalen more than had huge 2 offensive rebounds. Kyle had a big shot, an and 1, and Lance had a big 3 in the corner.
Those have been the points sort of where
Yep.
you guys let go of the rope. You were in a scoring drought there a little bit.
In January.
Yeah.
Not in February. We've done a good job in February of holding on to it.
I guess just kind of, is it confidence now in what you guys are doing from the kids maybe that's the difference here? I think they seem to be playing with more confidence offensively.
Yeah, I just think we've Kelly, you've covered me for 7 years now, and if you look back at my teams in Memphis, I mean, it's just in 14 years our teams have always gotten better. Like when we got to January, we've taken off, and I thought that was going to happen to us this year when we beat Miami. We just had a bad month. I don't know any way to put it. We just had a tough month, but again, we've gotten better. We're just a month late than we usually do in this month, and we've improved, Kelly. And what I would tell you is, like I said, I think these guys sometimes we think just because they're watching basketball, they're on TV. I mean, we forget these guys are students at Georgia Tech, and they embody the student body of Georgia Tech, and that's about toughness and resolve, and they've had good toughness and resolve, especially in those late game situations. Kelly, we found a way to like you said, not go the other way. We've extended the lead and was able to hang on and get the wins.
Time for a couple more, Coach.